Well, welcome back, guys.
Oh, hello, everyone.
So, last time we drew Pokemon based off of a random type that we spun on a wheel. This time, we have drawn evolutions for each other's Pokemon, and we're going to present that to each other now. I think I know Travis got Heath's Pokemon, which was Flyrus. I got Rob's, which was Chimpixie.
Chimpixie. Yeah.
Heath, I believe, got mine, which was Spydor, and then Rob, that leaves you with Keech, Travis's Pokemon, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Affirmative.
All right. So, does anyone want to present first?
I can go first.
Okay.
So I basically went off of this, took a screenshot of Keech there, the Pokédex entry, and I wanted to go just kind of like second stage evolution where you maybe expand it, make it a little like leaner or faster or something. I like the idea of making it more like magic, like a little more fairy, like dust type stuff going on. And where Keech's first form had the big like round belly, I thought it might be cool to kind of go a different direction, but still have a similar visual thing. So I have the crystal ball there, some magic, I guess, fairy floating dust and bottom, something like that. I wanted to emphasize sleeping still, make it like calm, but it can also see your thoughts or something, I guess, with the crystal ball. Maybe you can see your moves, your Baphomet has 2 extra arms. A little more magic. I added a sparkle or like a star, I guess you could say, to the crescent moon thing on the forehead. And I'm putting a background. Try out.
Yeah. That is cool. I like the multiple arms thing too. I think that looks pretty cool.
Sweet. Yeah. I feel like now that I look at it, it's a little bunched up, and I wish I made the colors a little more dynamic so that you could like easily tell there's multiple arms, but I
was wondering if that was the hind legs or not, but since that's 4 arms, that's so sweet. I would love to see more forms.
Yeah. Whenever you're looking at this thing, if this was real, like if you were looking at it, you almost couldn't quite tell. Like its arms would always be in motion, so like the shape of its actual body would kind of be mystery behind that.
That's kind of what I imagine, or like looking at it, like it's constantly like feeling the ball.
Yeah.
But
you
know what I mean.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
I also called it
Moonpur.
There we go. I like that.
I tried to think of like some extension on the word Keech, but I couldn't figure something out that sounded good. Yeah.
At home we just play around with the name. So before we had the concept of what we were going to evolve and stuff, I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll do a Keech that evolves into Skeech and then Meech. It just keep changing the first letter. Yeah.
There's a good bit of consonants you can use.
I like that though. Moonpur is much more on point, and it looks like it's turning into more of a fighter, more of a threat.
Yeah. Like it's still asleep, but it's a little more weight.
Yeah,
you're right.
That slenderness gives it that agility look to, like you don't know exactly what it's going to get in. Kind of like Abra. Kind of got an Abra.
Yeah. I didn't want to. I was, by the time I was done drawing, I was like, maybe this is a little more like psychic themed, but I feel like there's room for it to go with fairy that they haven't leaned into before, and also with it being fairy like Keech. I think there's some fun stuff you can do there that's psychic like. But
if there is a third evolution to this, I imagine it looking like one of those Indian gods or goddesses with like all the arms and everything, and it's like its eyes are open and they're just like constantly shining or something.
Vishnu or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I was imagining an evolution where Rob, like that drawing you did of me the other day, where he's like holding the orb, like that Greek mythology.
Atlas.
Who holds the
yeah,
fucking Atlas? I mean, freaking Atlas.
Freaking Atlas.
Yeah, 4 hands holding that giant crystal ball, and maybe like the legs are clouds or something.
Yeah.
Pondering the orb.
Yeah.
Pondering
by the orb.
I also was kind of imagining
in a slightly different version of this drawing, either having the back legs like also rubbing the ball, like to where there's like 6 things total, or you know when you pick up a cat and their legs are just kind of like dangling, like almost like it's like the back legs are just dangling around while he's flipping.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that visual, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Hello everybody, my name is Pondman, and I am not an artist. I am something much more sinister. I'm a competitive Pokemon enjoyer. And I am here to do a new segment for the video where I take a look at all these wonderful designs that these very talented artists have created and basically assign them stats, abilities, moves, and just numbers all around to determine what these little freaks would actually do if they were in a Pokemon game. Now, I don't want you, dear viewer, to think that I am just going to slap huge power and 130 base attack and speed on all these guys. No, that would be soulless. I'm going to try to stick with Game Freak's stat distribution philosophy of haphazardly slapping some numbers together until I think, yeah, that'll do. I'm also going to try to give each of these Pokemon some kind of unique move or ability or role that not many Pokemon have, just to keep stuff fresh. So with that out of the way, let's get started with Insert Segment Title Here. By the way, my favorite Pokemon is Alolan Muck. I know nobody asked, but this was just an excuse to get the Lemon Squid to throw up some banger Alolan Muck art. Alright, let's go. I love this Pokemon. I'm going to be up front here. I'm going to try not to make this guy overpowered, but I'm not going to try very hard. Dark Fairy is a typing we've only seen before in Grimmsnarl, which is a phenomenal support Pokemon. One of the very best, I'd have to say, in fact, with great uses in both singles and doubles. While Grimmsnarl's ability provides most of that utility, its stats are no slouch either. Speaking of which, on the physical side, Moonpurr is not that impressive. 80-80 physical bulk isn't bad, but it's not great either. Its low attack stat means that it'll take minimal damage from foul play, but it already quadruple resists dark, so that's not going to matter much. As I said, Moonpurr is a special behemoth. 120 special defense will allow it to survive at least one strong, super effective hit from some of the most threatening special attackers in the game, such as Fluttermane, Iron Valiant, and Goldingo. Then hit them back with a super effective Shadow Ball or a Stab Moonblast. Moonblasts and Dark Pulses coming off of that special attack stat will nuke almost anything that doesn't resist them. And I'm not done yet. Moonpurr's signature ability is called Lucid Dreamer. And if its stats weren't enough already, this may just be what pushes this Pokemon over the top. Lucid Dreamer allows Moonpurr to freely use its moves while it's asleep, albeit with slightly reduced accuracy, 20% to be exact. And if that doesn't sound like much to you, you may have never used a Pokemon with Hustle before, because it's the same accuracy penalty that you receive from that ability. This ability allows Moonpurr to be one of the best rest users in the game, as you can heal to full and be ready to attack in the very next turn. This ability also makes it one of the best sleep sacks. What is a sleep sack, you may ask? Well, it's short for Sleep Sacrifice, and in both doubles and singles, there are some very, very good grass types with access to the very, very good move, Spore. Spore, for those of you that don't know, is a 100% accurate sleep-inducing move. And sleep is one of, if not the most powerful mechanic in the game, as denying your opponent's turns is invaluable. Turns are your currency in Pokemon, and in the world of competitive player versus player, managing your opponent's turns is of utmost importance. Back to Moonpurr, Lucid Dreamer would allow Moonpurr to switch in, get slept, and answer back with a devastating special attack. Alright, okay. I know. I may have min-maxed this guy. And yes, I know it's a little bit unoriginal and boring to just throw massive numbers on a Pokemon and call it a day, but consider this. Look at him. Keech had a fairly standard stat spread for an unevolved Pokemon, but I'm roiding this guy out and you can deal with it. Moonpurr's physical bulk is respectable, but come on, you knew by looking at this thing that it was going to be a special attacker. Its special bulk is fantastic, but as you can see, its star number is that special attack stat. Fluttermane has had it far too good for far too long. 103 speed may seem like a random number, but it's actually a very devilishly specific one. 103 speed puts Moonpurr exactly one speed point higher than Garchomp, allowing it to outspeed and one-hit KO it with a Moonblast. Why Garchomp specifically? Well, dear viewer, it's because I am Garchomp's #1 hater. If Garchomp has 1,000,000 haters, I'm one of them. If Garchomp has 10 haters, you bet your ass I'm in their ranks. If Garchomp has 1 hater, I'll stand solo against the world like a tree planted by the river of truth. If Garchomp has no haters, I am dead. I've had to fight no less than 10 billion Garchomps over my Pokemon career, and Garchomp is, in my opinion, the most flawlessly, boringly perfect Pokemon to ever exist. And I have grown to hate that ugly shark with a white-hot, burning passion deep in my soul. And there may be some competitive players watching this that will say, "But Professor Pondman, Garchomp has fallen off in Scarlet and Violet," to which I would have to agree. Nature is finally healing. Like an old wound, Garchomp 2, God willing, will one day be forgotten. And if I have to suffer through 100 million Fluttermanes and Iron Valiants to reach that day, so be it.
And yeah, this one came together so much unbelievably faster than my first one. For some, I guess just having a starting point made it easier.
Yeah.
But this took like a third of the time probably. Like once I actually sat down to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I know exactly what you mean. I feel like the same thing with mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see it.
Well, I don't care to go next, if that's okay with you guys. Let's do it. Okay, so Chimpixie was a chimp, small little guy. He's feisty, and I figured like the natural evolution to a chimp was a gorilla, so I wanted to do that. Chimpixie, he could like balance on the bandages that came off of him and everything, so I wanted to really incorporate the bandages on the gorilla as well. Plus, it looks really cool. But instead of having the gorilla balance with the bandages, he kind of like they come off of his body and he can almost control them and use them like whips. I think whenever he's not fighting, he's like a really big sweetheart, like just a huge teddy bear. But like, he could mess you up if he really wanted to. Wasn't sure I wanted to add more hearts, wasn't sure where to do them. I thought about like, maybe on the biceps, like he had a tattoo. I thought belly, I thought chest. I thought about a chipped fang, but I think I ended up going with the chest there at the end.
No, this is cool. I like this a lot.
He's so sturdy.
I love going this direction with him.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's too much else to say about him, honestly. I kind of ended up sticking with like the same color palette. I really just used Chimpixie and like took the exact colors from. I think I changed the glove color a little bit, and there is a heart on his chest there. And added in the shade. I used the same shading technique you did with like
cool
blue, just on like a lower opacity. I really wanted it to kind of feel like. I didn't want there to be like an obvious difference. Like I didn't want people to think, "Oh, a different designer made this." You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah, I took the colors from Travis's too for his evolution.
Very nice. Yeah, I feel like that also worked. Like they if you set those two next to each other, they would look really good. And I don't know if this guy would have another stage. Well, thanks, dude. I see him as like a 2-stage, but yeah, there he is.
That's awesome, dude.
And his name is Farilla. I thought Fape, but that sounded too much like Fap. And I wanted to stay away from that direction.
It's a good point. I could see that.
Now, I like this guy a lot. He looks like a cross between Audino and Ryu. Fairy has been one of the strongest types in the game since its introduction in Gen 6. Lots of competitive players say pretty much the same thing, but where our conclusions differ is I don't care. Rip Bozo to all dragon types. You guys had 15 years of being broken, and now you get what you fucking deserve. Anyways, here's the stats I had in mind for DK here. Now, I love Pokemon with giant HP stats. Wailord, Snorlax, Beware. I just love big numbers, and I love being able to see the big number on my screen. I love Fayrilla's juxtaposition as a nurse fighter, and I knew I was going to have to give this thing a based-ass signature move. Chimpixie has lost some of its speed, but in return it has gained massive bulk, fitting to the healer side of its design. And like the aforementioned Beware, it has also gained some respectable attacking power. 150, 70, 60 gives Fayrilla fairly great physical bulk, and good but exploitable special bulk. This seems like a Pokemon I'd like to bring to doubles, so I kept that in mind when thinking of its signature move. Heal Punch. This move is 75 base power and 100% accurate. Fayrilla punches the enemy in a vital pressure point, siphoning 50% of the damage done from the target's HP. This does nothing but respectable damage on the first turn. The interesting part of this move is what happens if you select it a second time. If you use it a second time on an enemy, Heal Punch, henceforth shortened to HP, get it? Deals its base damage plus the stored 50% HP that it stole on the turn prior. If HP is used on a teammate, it grants the stored health to its ally. A great move that has both offensive and defensive uses. Heal Punch can be boosted further thanks to Fayrilla's Iron Fist ability.
I love the use of more bandages. I think we talked about, or we might not have said it out loud, but like it's kind of in the illustration where he's like kind of leaning on them kangaroo style.
Yeah.
Like that they're kind of a part of. So now that you have like more opportunities for like attack designs there, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's
So you get some slacking kind of vibes, but with fairy type possibilities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like more focus on healing moves and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
awesome.
He's definitely got more energy than slacking too. I imagine this guy
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like constantly, like you could find him like at the gym, just like, you know.
Yeah. Trains under waterfalls and shit.
Yeah.
Like Piccolo.
Oh, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I do see him like actually like legit add real like gyms, not like a Pokemon gym, but like a workout gym, and like sparring with people, and then maybe he just heals them afterwards. Like if he pummels them, it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
there you go, now you're healed. You know
It's missing one thing, dude.
what?
It's missing one thing. In that
Big
heart,
penis.
it's in that heart. It's got to say "mom" with the arrow.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was
Look up
referencing.
Mom.
Though. I didn't like
Yeah.
want to actually write mom. I could have wrote monkey, but but
Mom.
monkey. But yeah, that's why I put the hearts on the biceps there, because I was thinking of that exact tattoo.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I love it, dude.
So Heath, you drew the evolution of my Pokemon Spidor, right?
Yeah, Spidor.
Spidor. Okay.
You're probably gonna show a picture of Spidor right now in the YouTube
Look at
video.
Okay. Yeah, there he is.
Would you look at him? Look how cute he is.
Ah, God. Okay. Yeah, I forgot. I'm scared of spiders.
Me too. Get off the screen.
Get him out of
Okay, so I'm gonna start now. So I struggled a little bit trying to figure out what I was gonna do with him to make him look like a spider but different, or like a spider but stronger. So I had all these crazy, wacky, like different ideas for like how his legs would come out of him, or how he would be like distributing his weight and stuff. And I eventually made him into this weird, like upside down, like standing on his. What am I trying to, like, almost like a granddaddy long leg?
Yeah.
form.
I love what you do with the shovel. I'm just throwing that out there. Like that looks.
Yeah, dude, I really latched onto that as like his main thing. I kind of took away the like flat butt thing that he had going on,
Yeah.
and really focused on like the digging holes aspect of the spider.
No, that's cool.
Thank you. And you know, the rest of it, I mean, you get the idea. The rest of it is just me trying to get these legs right, and eventually I start using colors, and guess what? They're the same colors you use, baby.
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to say words, so it's the same word.
I was gonna say I like that you did take away from the flat butt, because the flat butt for Spidor is more like kind of like a defense or a trap. Like he doesn't go out hunting for things. He's just kind of like in my head he uses it to sleep so people don't bother him. And if he gets some food, you know, he'll but this guy clearly, to me, looks more aggressive, and he actually might go out and hunt for other Pokemon or something.
Yeah. I also realized while I was doing this, or I mean, like pretty late while I was doing this, that I gave him like the same exact eyes as I did for Flyrus. Like he's got like the same head shape.
I did not notice that at first. I think it looks really good, though. I actually was like, the eyes were one of the things I was admiring about him.
Really? Yeah, he's also
boss.
Really. Oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Also, what was I gonna say? Kind of reminds me of Noctowl with the eyebrow thing going on a little bit.
I could see that. But like, not like a rip off of Noctowl by any means.
Yeah.
And dude, the shading is so beautiful. I need to figure out how you're doing that because that's awesome. I love that.
Dude, I bought
that's great.
Not too long ago. What are they called?
Like the brushes.
The brushes I've got. Yeah. I bought like some Adderall from a friend. They're called. I can't remember where I got them, but they also have more brushes that I downloaded called Monomania that are kind of like rough pins and stuff. But they've got some really good like grainy brushes for you to do like these really kind of like stipply effects down here. Or are you talking about on the spider itself?
On the spider itself, actually. I just assumed it applied to the same. But yeah, go ahead.
That one is just a stock brush on Procreate called Fresco that I mess around with sometimes. You kind of have to like go in and really massage it, like make a mark, erase it a little bit, make a mark, erase it a little bit, to get it to look the way you want. But
right,
it gives
a lot of TLC.
Yeah. Gives it a cool, like really organic look, though.
Yeah, I think that looks awesome, dude.
That's the guy. I named him Extracnid.
That's great. Yeah, I think you're way better at naming things than I am.
I think about it really hard when I do it.
I can't tell if you're kidding. I was looking.
So Spydor was a fairly slow and bulky Pokemon, but Extracnid has ditched that and is on the prowl. I know at the start of this I said I wasn't just going to be slapping huge numbers on things, but bear with me because that speed stat is actually important because it puts it at 2 points higher than Blaziken after 1 speed boost. Why does that matter? Well, because it lets you switch in on Blaziken's Protect, which it uses to guarantee a free speed boost, outspeed it, and threaten to one-hit KO it with Stab Earthquake. But Professor Pondman, you might say, what if it gets 2 speed boosts? That is where Extracnid's signature move comes in play. I call it Escape. A genius play on words, I think you'll find. This move has Extracnid switch out with a party member in waiting. Upon switching in the waiting party member, Extracnid's door-shaped hiney remains to act as a shield, increasing the newly switched-in party member's defense by 2 stages. This move really puts the extract in Extracnid, and yes, before you ask, you may laugh at that joke.
I noticed when I was looking up Pokemon, like you mentioned the eyes being essentially different than the first one, but like if you think of like Charmander to Charmeleon, the eyes change right there. And I tried to, because none of this is going to be a part of what you guys are about to see, but I tried to look into like what common themes appear like when Pokemon evolve and just Pokemon families in general, like how they name them, like what suffix sticks around, like the prefix or the suffix, eyeball changes and stuff like that. So I think that still fits in really well, and it probably even like knits all the characters closer together by changing it up like that.
Yeah, I think this does look like a natural evolution. This is not something I would have thought of myself. Like this, I think you would have completely different direction what I would have gone. But I really, really like this. This is probably better than what I would have thought of. I don't know if I could have thought of something else that Spydor would have evolved into, maybe evolved from. But this is great.
This is Salvador Dali's Pokemon.
Well, thanks everybody.
Nice job.
No problem. All right, last but not least,
Yes, I actually had Ethan's Pokemon, Flyrus, the flying poison Pokemon, and I kind of asked Austin. I did my drawing, and then I asked Austin. I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I do like a little video thing for this?" And he said it was fine. He didn't want to see it yet to let it be a surprise. So that's kind of why it's like a little dramatic. You'll see, and you'll have all the any questions you have afterwards. We'll definitely talk it out.
I was given the privilege, nay, the honor to evolve another man's Pokemon. But one does not simply evolve a Pokemon that has never existed. First, we must understand evolution. To evolve, one must embark on a journey of transformation, where the familiar becomes extraordinary, and the ordinary transcends into legend. Evolution is not just a change, it's a metamorphosis, a revolution, a dance of DNA that twirls into the future. And so, with the digital brush in hand, I stand at the precipice of creation, ready to bestow upon this Pokemon a new form, a new destiny. An essential piece to this journey required countless hours of examining meticulous virus illustrations. As the pixels converge, a shape begins to emerge from the abyss on my blank canvas. It's not just an image that I craft, but a creature of infectious power. With each stroke, I imbue it with radness of the champions, the wisdom of the sages, and the courage of the heroes of lore. This Pokemon shall not merely evolve, it shall transcend. The possibilities are boundless as the universe itself, and yet, amidst this whirlwind of potential, a singular truth remains. Evolution is not without its quirks. The way most Pokemon fly in the absence of wings is befuddling to say the least. It was my job to make sense of this. Keith had set the standard, inspired by the great Ken Sugimori, and I did my best to navigate these legendary waters. Or, watercolors, rather. The final touches grace my screen and the Pokemon stands transformed, a beacon of progress and a testament to the power of imagination. It gazes upon this world with new eyes, ready to explore the vast expanse of the digital realm, and I, its humble creator, can't help but laugh at the sheer audacity of evolution. For in the end, isn't that what evolution is all about? A dash of madness, a pinch of chaos, and a whole lot of fun. I present to you, Ilrus.
Dude, I'm
Nice, man.
honored to have Flyrus evolve into Ilrus.
That was
Thank you.
amazing.
Yeah.
That was so good. You really raised the bar in presentation.
Yeah.
I had like an extra week, so I was like, I could get a little silly with it. A little silly willy. A little silly willy myself.
Dude,
But-
the documentary aspect was great.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I decided to take it into a very dramatic of like, what is evolution type deal.
Scientific with the shit.
Yeah.
Poison Flying is a rare typing, with only the Zubat line having it currently. This may come as a surprise for those of you unfamiliar with the competitive scene, but despite their blazing speed and respectable attack, Crobat and, in the lower tiers, Golbat are both phenomenal defensive Pokemon thanks to their typing. Poison Flying Quadruple resists bug, grass, and fighting. Combine this with a ground immunity and a fairy resistance, Ilrus wouldn't even need much defensive investment to be hard to take down. So, here's what I'm thinking. This is a mixed attacker with respectable bulk thanks to its typing. Still less bulky than Crobat though. I decided to make it a mixed attacker so that it could make use of both of its stabs. Many poison type moves are physical and many flying type moves are special. 100 speed lets it outpace and spread poison to many slower Pokemon and then pivot out with U-turn. Speaking of spreading poison, that brings me to Ilrus's signature ability, Contagion. This ability has two effects. The first, all of Ilrus's flying type moves have a 30% chance to inflict poison. This may not sound insane at first, but I guarantee you your tune will change the first time you get both flinched and poisoned by an air slash on the same turn. The second effect of Contagion is every turn that Ilrus is on the field, each Pokemon has a passive 10% chance to get poisoned. This effect also affects Ilrus's teammates in double battles. If you can't tell, poison is my favorite type, so I wanted to start off strong for the homeboy here.
And like I kind of said in the video, in a way, all I did to really try to figure it out was watch Heath's last time lapse of it, and he had already mentioned the watercolors and a few things that came out that we actually have as tools on Sketchbook. So I tried to replicate the style as best as I could, and I could see where the differences are with line weight, much smaller lines. Much smaller lines than I used to.
You really mimicked his style very, very well.
Yeah.
Like the eyes, I'm like, that was great. I love the background too. The skate park background, dude. That was so good.
See, here's the thing. Also, I had an idea to display him flying to show how that kind of works, because I just propped it on his back. But it was either make a weird video or do that, and I decided for the weird video. but it's essentially like a skateboard, and it still has this hover of toxic gas, basically. That's why I made sure I put that behind it.
I don't think that was you even needed to do that, because I felt like it was pretty clear on how you drew and everything that he does fly on the skateboard germ on his back or whatever. Good job, man. Good job.
I thought of something really strange that could apply is that that could be also another I don't know how you say it, cohort, yeah, in a sense, yeah, an offspring, and it kind of offsprings itself into if we had a baby form, we could do something with that board type deal.
Do you mean it goes into two different directions? Like it could evolve into one and then evolve into the or evolve into the other? Is that what you mean?
No, more cyclical. Like the board could set the standard for a pre-evolution for Flyrus.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
It just skates on his baby.
Well, how they what's that even called? I don't know fucking science. Excuse me. They split.
It's kind of like asexual reproduction, but not exactly that, you know?
Oh, reproducing by budding. Remember SpongeBob does that?
Yeah.
But play the clip.
Can you reproduce by budding? Can you?
You know what I'm saying?
Does
that mean SpongeBob's a father?
But that was really fun though. It was a really good challenge too, and I think I'm gonna try to stick within that style too from here on. I really enjoy it. It was actually really fun. It was a lot more work too, but I had the time this time around, so not a whole lot more, but definitely a little more than what I did before.
I'm gonna have
you adapted to that style super well, the line work to the coloring with the watercolors and everything. It felt it was a big enough departure to warrant its own design and everything, but you kept it's pretty on point time wise.
It reminded me of a bully on the skate park kind of thing, you know, he just got older and tougher. You know, he started hitting the gym. It looked so good. I
had two other name ideas, which would be Wrath-a-Jin or Radogen. But then then I started studying the Pokemon names a little better, and I was like, well, I think it either has to start with Fly or end in Rust. So Ilrus kind of came together from illness, Ilrus.
You definitely knocked it out of the park with Ilrus. Like the design, the name, like, yeah, maybe I should study Pokemon more.
I'm like, damn, that's so good.
Yeah, for real.
That video made it look much more hardcore than it was, but really I just like drew that in a night and then did a bunch of pickup shots in one day. Yeah.
For when I was naming Rob's, I was just really like, well, the evolution to Chimp Pixie, I was like, obviously he's got Pixie and then Chimp, so I try to, keep it punny.
Yeah. Yeah, same kind of like wordplay, same style of wordplay, I guess.
Pokemon names are very punny nowadays, I feel, anyway. I guess they always really have, man. Well, I guess that about wraps it up. I do appreciate you guys doing this, as always, and I'll see you guys next time.
I love you guys.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
Well, I mean, that was pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Huge thank you to Travis, Rob, and Heath for helping me out here. Another huge thank you to my buddy Wes, a.k.a. Professor Pondman, for helping out with the stats. I know the artists in this group, we were not, inept enough to create the stats on our own. I mean, we probably could have whipped something up. But I feel like the way Wes did it was just, I think he did a great job. So show some Wes, aka Professor Pondman, some love down in the comments. And be sure to check out Travis's channel, Creative Jargon. He does a ton of great art content on there. He's an excellent video maker. He's an excellent artist. You should really show his channel some love because he definitely deserves it. And Robin Heath has a band called Massing. Check them out on Spotify, YouTube Music, Instagram, because they have some pretty good Instagram content, if I do say so myself. But they're a genuinely great band, and I think you guys would really like them. You're probably hearing their newest single, Kickball Rejuiced, right now, and you will also hear more of it in the outro. But go give it a play on Spotify. They really deserve that as well. Let's see. What else? If you think this shirt's kind of neat, I don't know if you can see it super well, but I made some merch, I guess. It's going to be available on tpublic.com. I don't have my own website for it or anything, but I'll put a link of it in the description. There's that, a couple other designs. And what's cool about TeePublic is you don't have to have it as a t-shirt. You can put it on a phone case or a sticker, and you can change the color of the background. So really, it's very customizable. So definitely check it out if you feel like supporting the channel and repping a little bit of merch. I recently just designed this new Drippy Lemon Squid t-shirt, so, that's kind of funny, I guess. I want to try to update it kind of frequently. Eventually, I'll get my own website to put all the merch on to where it's a little bit more official. But for now, if you want to support the channel, check out TeePublic. Of course, like the video, subscribe, comment which of these Pokemon was your favorite. Would you use any of these Pokemon in your party? And what do you guys think? Should we make another evolution or pre-evolution to these Pokemon? Or should we spin the wheel again and get a completely new random type combination and new Pokemon with that as well? Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys have a great summer, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Some shit.
Have
I
you guys-
used to do that.
What's
What?
up?
Have you guys cameras this whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been using cameras the whole time.
I think my computer. So I didn't plug it in, and it's not dead or anything. But I think it was running on a power saving type deal. And this whole time, it's
Okay.
just been your guys' pictures
It
for me.
was. That was called a lie.
I know. I've never lied in my life.